First off, let me talk my... Got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my... It's a bad soundtrack, read the script. Born in the motherland, headed straight down to the south. Tennessee mornings with pops, working 3 jobs. I knew that they struggled.
Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
Kene Nwangwu now out of his end zone.
And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
And they'll run the option to start the drive.
And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense for the Bears, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
2nd and 11. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook.
The Vikings had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Cook now off the read option.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 23 yards, the final tally.
And time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Eighth play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. One play action. Fields. And that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. 4th down, so they send out Trenton Gill. He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time, let's keep doing it until they stop us? Or do they go to a different section in the playbook, show them something different? Either way, they want a repeat of their first drive.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook.
And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. He'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
They'll run for it. Cook. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. Thought they might throw the football with a little chunk that they had remaining on fourth down, but they ran it, they got it.
And the reason they were able to get it done, he ran that play with conviction, didn't he? Understood he would get a little bit of help from his friends up front, but it was really on him to go ahead and make the power move and get it done, and that he did.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. A little do-it-yourself run right there and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And a short gain down to about the 33. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play, and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. They'll roll him out right. It's caught on the right side. It's Smith. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is, if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was...
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third.
Back to throw. Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
And he will not get what he needed as he stops short of the first down at around the 22.
They snap it to Fields.
And he gives himself up, but not before he gets the conversion. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And some room to roam now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Fields going to keep it running right.
And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 2nd and 9, Fields. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Running for it, Montgomery. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Off play action, Fields.
Out to his left. This is Montgomery with a grab over the middle.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Montgomery, another target and catch. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. Byron Pringle in the final seconds of the first half.
And the Bears have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. They'll throw now on the final play. Flushed out right. Floating one incomplete. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. A huge play there for Chicago. 63 yards.
I don't know about you, but I haven't met a receiver yet that doesn't like to run post routes.
And Odell Beckham Jr., he loves post routes, doesn't he?
He really does, and I think the reason he's so successful with them, as we just saw there, is the intensity with which he runs the route. I mean, even when you know it's coming and you're covering it well, his intensity seems to win the day for him. I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He'll buy some time right.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
On third down, they go Montgomery. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
The Fields is off, and on comes Cairo Santos for the Chicago field goal.
From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through, and they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now back to throw. Steps away to his left.
Rager catches it left side.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's a nice throw right there. And I'll tell you what I've seen in recent times and actually watched a presentation in the offseason from a college offensive coordinator that showed about 10 different drills that he runs with his quarterbacks. to show them how to get out of the pocket, how to get comfortable when they're doing so, and to make plays under that type of duress. That's an example of what we're seeing in colleges delivered to the NFL. The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw, eluding the pressure right. And that's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Now, this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. That's into a crowd and intercepted.
He's been having a good day so far, but I think he got a little overzealous on that one. Still young in this league. Has to learn to try not to do too much on an individual play because, as we all know, sometimes less is more. And throwing away is preferable to making the big mistake.
They go play action here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And he coughed it up. And this is picked up by the Bears. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And just as they thought they might be able to take that across and get the lead, a big red zone turnover.
I know that I am defense-centric, and I want to give them a whole lot of credit, but I just can't believe after that drive, in that position, ball security paramount, they turned the ball over. Terrible.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. Montgomery, they'll run for it. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Prior to that, they were 2 for 2 on 4th down conversions in this ball game. Now 3 for 3.
And you've got to figure their luck's got to run out at some point, doesn't it? I will just tell you from a defense's point of view, someone has to step forward on 4th down and make a play himself because they're just letting it happen to him right now.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Ndamukong Suh with a sack. We've seen that a ton since he entered the league in 2010. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And this will be a 45-yard attempt. And that is no good. Wide to the right. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. A 4th quarter miss like that, there is no lonelier feeling than that kicker right now.
As we all know, a lot of these games, they come down to special teams. And when that chance comes, you have to perform in order to help your team get over the top.
Could have tied it. Instead, they remain down 3. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A play fake. Now Fields to throw. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful. Oh, and a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding 2nd half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire 2nd half.
Now a dump off here complete.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Dancing to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. It's their quarterback. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Vikings have taken a 4th quarter lead. Joseph now to have the PAT. And that makes it 14-10. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw is Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 72 yards rushing now for Cook, and this is a first down. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
22 middle. Cluster, 6.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Buying time to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Up the middle, it's Cook. Stopped short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Well, CD, for the losing side, they had opportunities in this one, but big plays just didn't go their way, especially late, and they have to suffer the L here.
It certainly felt like that takeaway. Once it happened, it knocked the wind out of their sails, and they just couldn't get their equilibrium back.
So for Minnesota, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for Chicago, the loss will move them back to 3-2 on the year. And they will be back home next week for a date with the Washington Commanders. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. They hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G. Flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread. You put the, you end up dead. Them West Coast, they leave that spray. And now you got all in your dread head.
If God for me, who could be against me? I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. 4th and inches. I'm